Value. Creating and using a value scale to create depth. To begin, we're going to start by creating a straight line. In order to do this, I'm going to use my ruler and measure 1 inch from the top of the sketchbook. I'm going to do this 3 times across the top of the page. By measuring 3 separate times, I have a very good chance of having a really straight line using the ruler. I'm going to connect the 3 lines, and then I'm going to repeat at the 2-inch mark from the top of the page. This is going to help give me a nice straight rectangle for our scale. Now that I have created my box, I'm going to go in and create a 1-inch square throughout the entire shape. I drew a 6-inch line. This is going to give me 6 boxes to fill for my scale. I'm going to start on the left-hand side with the darkest shade, and I'm going to slowly gradiate down to the lightest possible shade in this scale. Art pencils come in varying levels of softness that can help you achieve a great range in your artworks. For this tutorial, I am only going to be using a 2B pencil just to show you how versatile it can be, but I want you to understand that you can get hard pencils, which start with an H, that are a harder lead that create a softer, lighter value by nature, and the B pencils are softer graphite, so they can get you a darker range easier and faster. B is a low softness, so it's a little closer to the harder ranges, so it's going to give you a lighter shade than, say, a 9B would. So the square furthest to the left is as dark as I can get it with my B pencil. As I go to the next box, I'm lightening that shade. I'm going to make it a small step down, but an obvious step down, so that way as we go through the squares, it's going to get lighter and lighter. You might notice that I'm using my pencil at an angle, not up and down. This is giving me more space on the graphite sharpened edge to be able to apply light pressure to gradually build up my value. If you like the look that the pencil gives the texture of the paper, you can leave it as is, or you can take a blending stump or a tortillon, which is rolled paper, to help blend and soften those lines. It's important to try to not use your finger to blend, because the oil in your finger can create a smudge or residue that if you try to erase later and pull it out, you're not going to be able to, because it's made like a paste with the graphite and the oil in your hand. The point on the blending stump also gives you the opportunity to get into small spaces that your finger might not be able to. Now that we have a completed value scale, let's put it to use by creating a sphere. To create the shape of my circle, I'm using a compass. Remember, it's a circle until you add depth. That makes it form, not shape anymore, and it's a sphere. Value is the lightness or darkness of a given object. This makes it have the illusion of depth or dimension. In order for this to happen, you have to have a light source. For this sphere, I'm going to be using the word light above it as our light source. To begin, I'm going to add the darkest value to the outer edge of my sphere. This is because it's the furthest away from the light. As I get closer to the light, which is the top center of the sphere, it's going to gradually get lighter. We're going step by step through our value scale until we get to the lightest part. Now that I've got my shading in place, I'm going to come back with the eraser and clean up my edges where I smudged outside of my original lines. To anchor my sphere to the ground, I'm going to add a cast shadow. The cast shadow should be going away from the light, so it will be to the back left side of the sphere as well as lightly underneath the sphere itself. I'm going to use the blending stump to help gradually fade the shadow away from the sphere, and I'm going to come back with my eraser to enhance the highlight in the top of our sphere just a little more. Now it's your turn. Recreate the value scale in the sphere using the directions as followed in the video. I can't wait to see how well yours comes out. The background music for this video was downloaded from bensound.com.